Yep, it's gonna be one of these videos.
Not the leader of a cult, RabbitWithAxe.
Greetings, demons, and welcome to something I very rarely do on this channel anymore, and that is, I guess, a pseudo haul. More like, these are a bunch of things that I got recently that I thought were interesting enough to talk about, and yeah, them being all gaming related obviously makes things a lot easier for me to justify the fact I'm talking about it here. But with that being said, yeah, let's just quickly get this one out of the way, because it is very, very silly. Final Fantasy 14 hair dye. It's vivid green. I don't know why Final Fantasy did this collaboration, but yeah, with Schwarzkopf live hair dye, there is a free demo or free trial or whatever provided of Final Fantasy 14, which is of course Final Fantasy Online, the MMORPG sort of thing. And yeah, I didn't get it specifically for that. I did actually just want this colour in general. But, yeah, odd little promotional item. And I don't have any other way to really talk about it, so we're just throwing it in at the start here. But, yeah, we do have much more, larger, more important things to kind of go over that I've picked up over the last month and a half or so. Pretty much since, late March, early April, a lot of this stuff, but I got myself a Switch 2. That might not be a surprise. I recently did a video on the Switch 2 version of Metroid Prime 4, as well as a video on Tomodachi Life, which I believe is only on Switch 2. I may be wrong there. Maybe it is on Switch 1 as well, I'm not sure. A lot of games are kind of like that right now, where they're on both. But yeah, I have been putting off getting Switch 2 for a good while, and I basically foresaw the price increase that we are going to be getting in September, mostly because obviously PlayStation 5s now cost an extra $100 more, like an extra like £80 more than they did literally like a month ago. So yeah, when I saw that the PS5 was getting a price increase, I kind of just decided, you know what, it's time. I've been putting it off. I've been wanting a Switch 2 since launch. I was very close to getting one like the week of release. But yeah, I got the Mario Kart World Edition, and I actually got an extra game with it, which we'll get into in a second. We'll go over the games that I've bought since I got the Switch 2. But yeah, this is just the Mario Kart World bundle version. My box is a bit damaged, but realistically, after this, I'm throwing away the box. And yeah, I've been enjoying the Switch 2 so far. I'm probably going to do a full review of the Switch 2 experience. However, it's something that I don't typically do is, full-on reviews of stuff. But yeah, with the Switch 1, I kind of did what could be described. It wasn't really a review, but then with the Fortnite edition, I did a full unboxing and like my thoughts on the Switch at that point. So yeah, I'm planning on doing some sort of review, overview, sort of my thoughts on the Switch 2, especially moving from the Switch 1 to the Switch 2. And yeah, just one of those things where I finally got it. It took me long enough, but yeah, now I have a Switch 2. I guess we'll just go with the hardware first. So, this is the most recent thing that I got, or one of the most recent things that I got. Some of you will recognize what this box is, obviously it does say it on it. But, yeah, I did end up picking up the Nintendo GameCube controller for NSO. I've been a Nintendo Switch Online subscriber for quite a while. This is the actual controller itself. It is wireless, it has all the extra buttons that you'd need for the Switch 2. And, yeah, I have yet, until now, to buy any of the Nintendo Switch Online subscription-exclusive controllers. Despite wanting them, I was very tempted by the SNES controller. The SNES was one of my first consoles, if not my first console ever, so I have a lot of love for that controller. A lot of it just comes down to, they're a little expensive, but when it comes to the GameCube controller, not only is this one of my favourite controller designs, it's in the top 3, I can never quite decide where things go, but this sits right beside the Xbox Series controller and the Xbox 360 controller for me. I really love the GameCube controller, and just having it on a modern platform and wireless is really nice. I've been really enjoying using that for Mario Kart World and Smash Bros. Ultimate and stuff like that. Really enjoying using that recently. But yeah, when it comes to these, Nintendo Switch Online exclusive controllers, they're always a little expensive for what they are, until it becomes a more standardized controller. Like, I'm not going to spend £40 or whatever it is for the N64 controller because it's a bad controller. And I'm not going to really spend the £30 for an SNES controller because it's really simple. Nor am I going to spend £50 for two of the NES controllers or anything. Like, however, the GameCube controller is such a good controller, one of my favorites, and just generally it makes too much sense to not, actually just go with it. And yeah, I didn't end up picking it up. I'm probably going to get the Virtual Boy holder for the Switch 2 at some point, just because I think that's really fun. I do actually quite like the Virtual Boy. I have a soft spot for it. And yeah, that alongside a GameCube controller, that's the kind of thing that I actually want from NSO as little bonuses. And yeah, once again, probably going to get rid of the box at some point after this video, but as is, very happy to actually have this finally. And yeah, it's just been nice playing with a GameCube controller again, because I haven't had any of the adapters for the Wii U or the original Switch or anything like that, so I haven't been able to use the wired controllers for a while. So my Venom controller, my Venom GameCube controller, has been unused pretty much since I stopped using the Wii, the launch model Wii. So yeah, it's been very nice just having a GameCube controller that feels so good, feels exactly how I remember it. The triggers are a little weird, but I think it's just because I'm so used to using the Venom, which isn't an official controller, so it has a slightly stronger spring in the trigger there. But yeah, I really like using this thing, and very happy to finally have it. What should we look at next? Something a little bit more understandable, I think, from someone like me. So if you've been following the channel for a long time, you may remember I'm a huge Toys to Life fan. Amiibo has never been a major part of my collecting, though I have a decent few. I've probably, including this one now, I think I have 7 different Amiibo. Not including duplicates, because I have some multiples of the Animal Crossing ones for various reasons. But yeah, I ended up picking the Galaxy and Galaxy 2 Rosalina, and this is just a beautiful figurine. More than anything, it's just a really, really nice looking figurine. And yeah, Galaxy 1 specifically is one of my favorite games. Definitely top 10, possibly top 5. And yeah, Rosa is obviously one of my favorite characters in general, one of my favorite Smash characters. And yeah, I really do love Rosa in so many ways. So I've been meaning to get a amiibo figure, should I say, of her for a while. And obviously the Smash one's really good. The Mario series one is pretty good as well. But this one really sold me. It's such a big base. You can see the standard amiibo base there, the amiibo puck, that has the NFC chip and stuff. And yeah, it's so much bigger than that. But I love the details as the actual book detailed in there from the game, which is really nice. The Lumas are lovely to have. And yeah, just in general, this is just a great figure. And while I don't actually have Galaxy 1 and 2 yet, I've bought Galaxy 1 at this point too many times, and it's kind of starting to bug me a little bit, especially because I did get All-Stars, which my one criticism of 3D All-Stars was the fact that I didn't include Galaxy 2. So the fact that they are now doing Galaxy and Galaxy 2 is just annoying to me, but I will probably end up getting it at some point, and you'll see. I'm already kind of on the bandwagon for just buying everything Nintendo again, so, it's a matter of time at this point, but yeah, really love this figure. It's been sat on my desk for a decent while since I got it, and yeah, it's just a lovely little Rosa, and yeah, it's really reignited my passion, my interest in Amiibo specifically again. I haven't bought any more since this one, but I'm definitely looking at possibly picking up some of the Smash Bros. Ones that I've been meaning to. Little Mac is my main in Smash. I've been meaning to get Little Mac for a while. And yeah, a few others, a few of my favorite characters, the Mario version of Waluigi and stuff. Just stuff like that I'm really looking forward to getting in the future. But yeah, for now, I picked up Rosa, and I'm very happy with her. I guess keeping on the Toys to Life train, though, we'll start with the boxes. So I pre-ordered, however long ago, the U2's Skylanders Drop 2 figures of Trigger Happy and Pop Fizz. I don't know if this really gets brought up in my previous Skylander collection videos. My favourite Skylanders are Trigger Happy and Pop Fizz. I have all versions of Pop Fizz and all but 2 versions of Trigger Happy because the Imaginator versions of Trigger Happy are really expensive for some reason. I just wasn't playing at the time of Imaginator's release, so it just didn't work out for me. But yeah, when U2's announced that Trigger Happy and Pop Fizz were going to be getting figures, I obviously ordered them straight away, and they just arrived. And as you can see, they weren't in the packaging. These boys, oh, they're great. They are absolutely great. Let's adjust the camera a little bit. That'll do. And yeah, these guys are just excellent. Do I have a Pop Fizz and a Trigger Happy to hand? I have a Pop Fizz. That's not really a representative Pop Fizz, but just to a size comparison, do I seriously just not have a Trigger Happy next to me? I have a bunch of Skylanders and I don't seem to have a Trigger Happy next to me. Oh no, I do. I do have one. Cool. There we go. Not the most representative at this point. I may as well just... Yeah, there we go. That makes no sense. So yeah, they're bigger, like considerably, than a typical Skylander. And in fact, give me 1 second. If we just bring in a giant, they are, in terms of like actual plastic quantity, I think they're actually a bit bigger than a giant. They are obviously lacking in bases and stuff, and these aren't actually working Skylanders. They are just figurines. They don't serve a purpose, like the actual figures do. But they are such high quality. I love U2 stuff. I've got a few of them. Mostly it's been collaborations with YouTubers I watch. So I got the Scott the Woz U2's figure a while ago, and the Internet Today Desk Buddies, or whatever they call them. But yeah, these two I had to get. It's been a while since I've bought any U2s really, but yeah, these two are representations of my childhood in a lot of ways. And yeah, I still love Skylanders. I was actually playing Giants again recently, and yeah, I love the games. I need there to be a new Skylanders game. Oh boy, I would love a new Skylanders game so much. But yeah, the fact that we are actually getting some official merchandising, and it is including my favourite characters. I know it's kind of blasphemous that I didn't get Spyro, or even T-Rex, because T-Rex is... I have like 7 T-Rex figures, like the actual Skylander. But yeah, I didn't bother getting Spyro, I didn't bother getting T-Rex. I think Ruptor was one of the other ones as well, and I think... Was Stealth Elf also available? She might have just been a plush. I don't remember the full range. But yeah, as I say, these two are my favourite characters. I needed to get them. And now that I have them in hand, very, very happy with this. Really, really does make me just... I just want to play Skylanders again. I you know what? I'm probably going to do that after this video. But yeah, Pop Fizz, Trigger Happy, just such great figures, both from U2's. Interesting that their logo size are different. But yeah, love some new Skylanders, even if they don't technically work in-game. And that brings us to some games I picked up recently, starting with Pac-Mania for the Commodore 64. And this was literally just a charity shop pickup. I saw they had a bunch of different Commodore 64 games that someone had clearly donated. And while, I don't own a Commodore 64, I don't really have plans to have a Commodore 64 in the future, having a game for it as iconic as Pac-Mania, great game in and of itself, is just really cool to have in cassette form. And yeah, Pac-Mania on cassette for the Commodore 64. Oh, it looks good. It seems to be in good quality as well. Obviously, I don't have a Commodore 64 to actually try it with. I don't know if it works properly, but yeah, I like getting stuff like this. Every once in a while I come across, mostly in charity shops, honestly, just old retro games. And if I know the game, if I recognise it, if it's maybe a franchise that I'm familiar with, or something very iconic for that system, even if I don't necessarily own the actual system it belongs to, I end up picking it up. And yeah, Pac-Mania was one of those that I ended up getting. Very, very cool to have a Commodore 64 game, like, in decent conditions. A little bit of damage to the case. Though, relatively speaking, these cases are kind of replaceable. Like, they don't have stickers on them, like all the stickers are on the actual inner sleeve. So, realistically, I could probably replace this with a nicer external case, but for now, this is just something that I'm very happy to have. Just a neat little thing to own, and yeah, just another retro game to add to my collection of however many thousand games I have at this point. I need to do a new video going over my entire collection. It's one of the things that takes so much extra setup to actually get through, that I never end up doing it. But speaking of older games that are still relevant right now, I ended up picking up Tomodachi Collection, and I mentioned this in my Tomodachi Life Living the Dream video, that Tomodachi Collection I do have, and that's because I've had this for a little while, and as in like a few weeks prior to that video going up, and obviously like a month since from this video going up, sort of thing. But yeah, this is a really interesting game. Japanese only, which is why it's in Japanese. And yeah, the interesting thing with DS games is DS consoles themselves, the DS, DS Lite, and DSi, are region free. The 3DS, on the other hand, seems to be hit or miss. I keep reading online that it is partially, with DS games specifically, region free. However, my new 3DS just doesn't work with this game, so I'm assuming that's just like one of the various issues with that. But yeah, Tomodachi Life is a very interesting game because it is obviously the first Tomodachi. It has a Mii Maker on the DS, which I believe it's the only DS game, original DS game at least, to have a Mii Maker. Obviously, the Mii's being from the Wii, from something that didn't really get popularized until later games, and was obviously a major part of the 3DS, and then later the Wii U, and even now on the Switch and Switch 2. But yeah, Tomodachi Life, I never played. Tomodachi Collection. I never played Tomodachi Life. It was just a 3DS game that I never was that interested in, and I never ended up picking it up. But yeah, I now have Tomodachi Collection. Get it right eventually, and I played a little bit of it. I'm not, at all fluent in Japanese. I really don't know Japanese. I recognize a little bit of kanji just because I have friends that do speak Japanese. Not first languages by any means, but like enough where I've seen them write and type and stuff in Japanese that I can kind of make sense of it. It's it's a lot of Google Translate for me playing this game, but having played it, like, it is just Tomodachi Life, which is so interesting, especially with Living the Dream coming out now. It's so weird looking back at a DS game that is doing the exact same stuff, like in so many of the same ways. But yeah, this is just a really nice piece of like Nintendo history, and very happy to have this. This is actually my first ever. Well, we're going to get to another Japanese game I actually have in a second, but this was my first ever non-PAL game. Like, I have non-UK releases. I have games that were German releases, or I have some like Spanish or French copies of games. But in terms of like non-European, this is the first time I've had a game that isn't. And seeing the little Zero or Zero or whatever rating rather than Peggy is just so unusual to me. But yeah, that's Tomodachi Collection. Very interesting in terms of history, but yeah, despite the fact I have put a bit of time into this, I'm probably not going to play it too much, especially because of Living the Dream being out. But yeah, very happy to have this. Just putting this on the shelf with the rest of my DS games is such a cool feeling, and yeah, it's been a real fun time just playing it on my DSi. Like, actually returning to the DSi as well for this has been really nice. But yeah, Tomodachi Collection just in time for Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. But yeah, very, very cool there. And we'll go a little quicker through these, and not in any particular order. But I've picked up a number of Switch and Switch 2 games, which I'll vaguely order. So we'll go through the Switch 1 games to begin with. So we've got Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumbles. This is, I think, the newest of the Monkey Ball games. I get confused with all of them. I've been really wanting to play some Monkey Ball recently. I just looked at what the cheapest one going on Switch was, and it just happened to be Banana Rumble. So this might not be the absolute newest, but I just don't remember which one came out most recently. I didn't Google it. I just went on Amazon and found a £15 Monkey Ball because I was just like, I want to play some Monkey Ball. But yeah, I like Monkey Ball mostly for the arcade, but every once in a while I just feel like playing it, at home. I don't feel like going to an arcade club to play Monkey Ball. But yeah, Monkey Ball, very fun game. I haven't really put any time into Banana Rumble yet, though. It's a matter of time before I've probably put a few hundred hours into this, because Banana Blitz HD on PC, I have a few hundred hours in that, and I literally play that like just very casually. I put no effort into it, but yeah, Banana Rumble just to get my Monkey Ball fix on the Switch for now, and yeah, not a bad little game to get there. I'll skip that one for now. I finally got Super Mario Bros. Wonder. I should have got the Switch 2 edition. I just didn't bother because this one was like £20 cheaper than getting the Switch 2 edition, and I believe the upgrade is only £10, so it didn't work out very well for me. But yeah, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. I've played a little bit of this, not as much as I want to. I need to put more time into it, but I'm loving some of the new power-ups. The elephant power-up is really fun, and yeah, the whole like Wonder Flower thing is really interesting. Like, coming from someone who has religiously played the new Soup series, this is definitely a departure. Like, even the aesthetics, like the actual design for Mario, like, you can't really tell from the renders on here, but like the design of Mario is so much more plump than he has been more recently in like the new Soup games and stuff. But yeah, this has been a really fun game so far. Everyone's heard about it though, so I'm not gonna go on about it for too long. Mario vs. Donkey Kong Remake. This is my other Japanese game. So I got this after I ordered Tomodachi Life. So I'll say Tomodachi Collection, sorry. Was my first Japanese game, and then I immediately got another Japanese release. This was just a good deal. I was wanting Mario vs. Donkey Kong. The Switch and Switch 2 are region free. So it made sense just to get a cheaper Japanese copy. Rather than, just get a PAL copy for the sake of getting a PAL copy. I don't really care about the spine being in Japanese. That doesn't really matter. But, yeah, I love my Mario vs. Donkey Kong. Interestingly, this is like the only one I haven't played, the first, on the Game Boy Advance. I think I do own it. I think I bought it at some point, cartridge only, for the original Game Boy Advance, and I just never played it. But I'm a huge fan of the games in general. Even like Mini Mario and Friends Amiibo Clash, or whatever it's called, the DS or the 3DS whatever you want to call it, and Wii U digital only release. Like, I think that's really fun as well. And yeah, finally gonna have the opportunity to play the original. I haven't actually put this one. I've put it in and downloaded it on the Switch 2. I just haven't actually launched it yet. But yeah, very much looking forward to putting a bit of time into this one. Not the kind of thing I'd typically do a video on, but who knows? I might end up doing it. A lot of this stuff, the Switch 1 games specifically, just for my own enjoyment, just so that I have stuff to play in my own time. But yeah, I guess moving on from that's all the Switch 1 games I've got recently. Whoopsie daisy. Let's quickly just go over the Switch 2 games, and by that I mean Switch 2 editions. Starting with, I finally picked up Animal Crossing New Horizons, Switch 2 edition. I have not played any of this yet. I just missed out at the time. I just wasn't that interested in getting a new Animal Crossing, and it doesn't help. I was kind of burnt out by Amiibo Festival and stuff. I love Animal Crossing in general. I just never got New Horizons. So I now have it on Switch 2, and yeah, I'm probably going to do a video on this. I just don't know what it's going to be. I don't know if I'll end up doing like a similar thing I'm doing with Tomodachi Life, where it's going to be like a series, but it's going to be more like jumping in and out at random, like not like a let's play of it necessarily. But either way, Animal Crossing New Horizons Switch 2 edition, yeah, great thing to just add to my collection, and yeah, just to have another Switch 2 game as well on the shelf, because it's the current console, and despite the fact I'm just buying Switch 1 games for the Switch 2 at this point, it's still worth it in my opinion. And speaking of, and many of you will have already seen this because I have done my first episode of the Let's Play, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond Nintendo Switch 2 edition, and yeah, I was waiting specifically to get a Switch 2 before I played this, which is why I'm very late. because I wanted the mouse controls. Having used the mouse controls now, I don't know whether I should have waited. I probably should have just got it on the Switch 1. The Switch 2 edition doesn't really do too much. It looks a bit better. From what I've seen, comparisons between the Switch 1 and Switch 2, it does look better on Switch 2 if you have the Switch 2 edition. But I don't know if it was really worth waiting, because I've been looking forward to Prime 4 for so long. I love the Prime games in general. And yeah, the fact that we haven't had a proper Prime game since Prime 3, I know some people like to consider Other M. I consider Other M to be like similar to Prime, but it's not a Prime game. It is different. I don't even mind Other M. I actually think it's okay. But yeah, Prime 4. I'm currently Let's Playing this. Hopefully, I'll keep on track with that, and we'll have like roughly an episode a week. I can't promise exactly that kind of rate, but yeah, hopefully it's gonna be around like a week or a week and a half per episode, and we'll get that done just in time for Star Fox in a month, because I've pre-ordered that. And yeah, the game that I got with my Switch 2, because I did say I got a game with it, was Donkey Kong Bonanza. Who I bought it from. Basically just had this bundle where you got the Mario Kart World Switch 2 with Donkey Kong Bonanza for the price of the Switch 2 Pokemon Z-A bundle. I'm a little burnt out on Pokemon in general, so I'm not interested in that bundle anyway. I was obviously wanting Mario Kart World. And yeah, Donkey Kong Bonanza, such a good game. I've put a few hours into this so far, not as much as I necessarily want, but yeah, I love my 3D platformers. Odyssey was one of my favorite games on the Switch 1. Obviously, this is kind of, despite being a Donkey Kong game, not a Mario game, it is kind of the successor to it. Even including Pauline, and yeah, just in general, very, very much enjoying this one. Really fun game so far. As I'm not as far into it as I want to be, but yeah, overall, really good game, and possibly I'll do some content on it at some point. But as of so far, I haven't really bothered. But that is actually everything I've picked up that I want to talk about, at least. There's definitely other things that I could mention for this video, but I don't want to be too redundant. I've already gone on for near enough half an hour, and probably will go on for half an hour by the time I'm actually finished rambling right now. But yeah, in general, I'm very happy with what I've been picking up over the last, few months, essentially. It's a lot of random garbage, realistically, especially this. I'm only including this because it's just like, it is technically gaming related, even though it's not really a gaming item. But yeah, I'm really getting back into gaming again, which is really nice, because for the first few months this year, as I'm sure many of you noticed, I kind of fell out of love with gaming. There's a lot of things going on, both in the real world and in the gaming sphere, that I'm just not enjoying right now. And yeah, for the most part, I've just been a little burnt out on gaming stuff in general. But getting the Switch 2, getting all these new games, just revitalizing my love for things like Skylanders and Toys to Life and stuff like that. It's been really fun, and yeah, I hope that that's coming across in the content, because I'm trying to get the content to be a little bit higher quality. I said this is start year, but yeah, I want it to be a bit more quality. I'm still working on some longer form scripted content, and yeah, in general, I'm just enjoying games a lot more again, which is always a nice thing. But with that being said, that's going to be it for this video. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like it, subscribe if you're new, and ring the bell so you never miss upload. Otherwise, complete your thoughts and feelings on anything that I have shown off in this video. And otherwise, it's going to be from me. So yeah, that's it for the video. And sorry, Trick Happy. I'll see you later. Bye.
Look at the screen, you'll be fine. Culture's a disease, but worlds divine. I just wanna take